Hi guys, welcome back. I'm JT at delicatebeats.com, and today I want to show you how to create EDM tracks that stand the test of time. I think the genre right now is a bit plagued by groove-based music, and I think we need as musicians to go back to strong fundamentals such as chord progressions, catchy melodies, and rhythms that get your song out of the box. So stay tuned and I'm gonna show you how. So here we are in Logic Pro X, and the first step is to play a chord progression. Okay, so 4 simple triads. And now I am going to break down these triads where I'm gonna play the bass note an octave lower and play a little pattern here with the chords so that it creates movement. Okay, I'm even gonna take it a step further, and in this version I am playing some notes within the chord, a few semitones up and down, just to create even more detail, to make it more interesting for the listener. Okay, so you see how, just a few semitones in the chords make more tension in the chord and create even more emotion. Now I'm using a simple pop trick that a lot of pop producers have used over the time, which is basically when the verse starts, you drop the chords an octave lower. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. First, to grab the listener's attention to the beginning of the first verse, but also I'm creating room here in the upper octaves to put a melody here that I'm going to play. So now we benefit from the full-bodied sound of the piano, which is very interesting. And here with the melody. This is where things get interesting. Now I'm gonna have the piano MIDI information played by a synth. And just so you get the idea, I have this little kick here driving the chords. All right, so this is sounding already a lot more like an EDM track. Now, this was my verse pattern. And for the chorus, I'm bringing back the melody in and more drums and a bass. And to make things more interesting, I changed the pattern, the rhythmic of the chords here for this. Okay, and you're gonna see later on that we're gonna have a 16-bar chorus pattern. So in the second half of it, I'm adding a second layer to the main melody, as well as big claps and a guitar. I want to get your attention on the guitar. I think even though it's EDM and a lot of it is synths, it's always interesting to integrate a few organic elements, such as this guitar, the claps, just to bring in a little bit of warmth and just sounds from the real world also. So it makes a great balance between the electronics and the organic. Now let's talk about build-ups, drops, and creating anticipation for each of the main parts of the song. This is really an art form in EDM where build-ups create a lot of tension and anticipation for the crowd that's dancing. And usually we try to have the most spectacular drops possible, so that when the energy drops down, we have great chords, great melodies, and this is where the crowd has a little bit of time to relax before the chorus, where the energy picks up and actually goes even higher than ever before in the arrangement. So I'm starting off here with 8 bars of our main synth chords with a kick that has the low frequency rolled off. And after 8 bars, I am introducing the real drums. So this change in intensity grabs the listener's ears. And when we go into the second half of the verse, I will introduce the bass and some elements of that are basically building up to the drop. So a rising synth and a 909 snare rolling pattern. So the intro, and then the real drums. And I want you guys to pay attention to the last 8 bars of the verse. Right. So now we are ready for the drop, and I want to show you more in detail all of the little sounds that make for a great transition. So here we have a clap, what some people call a downer or a downlifter, which is basically a sine wave with a pitch envelope, bringing down 1 octave the note that's played. Whooshes kind of sounds. This guy here is from a cinematic sound design bank. And finally, cymbal swells. And just to punch in for the beginning of the drop, I have this huge kick with a big hall reverb on it. So let's listen to only those transition sounds. Right. So if we listen back and go into the drop. Now I changed the chord progression for the drop. And again, we're building tension. It's rising again. And then in comes the chorus. So here in the drop, it's always a good thing to, like the name says, drop pretty much everything and have a strong chord progression with or without a melody. And it's very important that this chord progression resolves well for the chords of the chorus. So in this case, it resolves to E flat, if I'm not mistaken, which is the first chord of the chord progression in the chorus. Now, like I said earlier, this chorus is actually 16 bars long. The first 8 bars would be where we'd have vocals, and the second half, where I bring up the intensity a bit more with the guitar and the snare rolls, would probably be just ad-libs or something like that. Right. Now we could go back to the verse pattern, which is often the case in most EDM hits. But in this case, I wanted to do something different. So instead of going back to the same chord progression, I'm doing something much more rhythmic with only one chord, which is the first chord of the chorus, and I'm introducing a bunch of almost non-melodic synths. So this part of the track really bangs and is really even more aggressive than the chorus. So let's listen to that. This will build into the pre-chorus. All right, so pre-chorus, then we have the same 16-bar chorus, and I wanted to end this track roughly around 3 minutes, 3:20. So I'm just fading out on the main synth line from the intro as an outro. So, to go over some of the most important things I talked about, it's very important to build the tension as much as possible in the intro and the first verse. Try adding as many little spices during those 16 bars, so the arrangement becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and use synths, rising synth sounds. You can also use white noise with a filter cutoff, and obviously those classic snare rolls. And more is always better in terms of transition sounds. Try to make this as intense as possible so that when the drop kicks in, we really went from everything to almost nothing. So I hope you get the point. I'll go into more details about specific elements in future tutorials, such as how to create good risers and downers, and how to use Kontakt, for example, for sound designing your own synth sounds. So in this one, I wanted to have an overview of writing good chords and melodies, and then translating your MIDI data into patterns that you can use for several synth sounds in your arrangement. So yeah, if you have any questions, obviously write them in the comments. Watch my other videos, such as the EDM kicks, which goes hand in hand with this tutorial, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for listening, and make great EDM tracks.